everyone.
Hi, everyone.
I'm Tracey.
I'm Carol.
And we are my
Outlander
Purgatory. And I'm like looking around here because I saw a little gnat fly around. So I might, if I'm just talking and then all of a sudden go, I'm not
Tracey,
crazy. I just caught a gnat.
I'm sorry, I can't understand you. You're so whiny and annoying. So,
why do you think why do you think that?
But I don't know.
God. You know what? Go on the I'm happy to read any of the comments. By the way, 99.9999999% of all of the comments this week about our first recap of the season on MyOutlanderPurgatory.com, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. Amazing comments, really great discussion. People thought about a lot of stuff that, I hadn't even thought of. That is
the
Millie,
bird. The bird.
I mean, we, talked about that a little bit, but people had all sorts of theories. Is Millie, going to be Frank's, something, something? I didn't even think of that. I was like, wow.
I thought it's Nellie.
No, it's Millie.
Oh, it's Millie Nelson? And we were calling her Nellie Olson?
Right, but she kept saying,
I thought it was Nellie Nelson.
But anyway, occasionally we'll get a comment, that's, not so nice. And that's fine. You have your total prerogative to, comment, cool. And we're totally cool with that. Yeah. But, our show, our rules, bro. And we're going to make fun of you.
I just don't understand people who watch a video. If you don't like us, turn us off. And the word shtick I think I put that in a comment, comes to mind. Tracey and I don't go about our daily lives oh my God.
Well,
we do a little.
All the time.
She doesn't go to the office and be like, you guys, totally, we're doing a show here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I work with 5 other women who I've known for 15 years, so I kind of do Oh my God. So anyway, Carol.
Yes?
What are you drinking this evening?
Oh, the same damn thing. Keep going.
God. I have new things. I have drinking news to report. So, excuse me. I'm a little phlegmy. So I am drinking this. So I took a vacation over the summer in the Finger Lakes of New York State, which is beautiful, and you should go if you're there. They're called the Finger Lakes because they look like fingers, like this. It's beautiful, but basically you go up there and you you drive around by the lake and you sit by the lake and you go to wineries because there are so many wineries around there. You're not going to miss them. So
I was at a winery right now.
This is called Dr. Constantine Frank. I don't know if it's Frank or Frank. Like Frankenstein. Not Frankenstein.
Is that on purpose?
Frankenstein.
Is that on... Oh, and you're going to read Frankenstein. Is that on purpose?
What? Because of tonight?
Yeah, Frank.
Oh!
See? You guys, it's osmosis. Outlander is just in the brain.
I didn't even know, but that's true. But anyway, this is from the Finger Lakes, and he's actually a very famous vintner. But the other thing that's kind of cool is I decided today, instead of using my Costco wine glasses that I always use, I'm using these glasses that look more like the glasses that they have at Lollybrock. And
I should have that.
Look, it has our Randanelli crest on it.
Where'd you get that?
Mom gave them to me when they were moving, and she was getting rid of all her stuff.
I get the crap Halloween decorations? Are you kidding me?
It has a little decanter, too. Craft and 6 of these. But doesn't it look very Lollybrock-ish?
Lollybrock, Lollybrock, oh,
Lollybrock, Lollybrock.
Yes, it does. It's very cool. Very, very cool.
So anyway, it's a nice crisp shardy, all ready to go. I didn't even think of the Frank thing, but
Frank.
Okay. Let's do this. Episode 302. Writer, Anne Kenny. Oh, I forgot. It's called Surrender. No retreat, baby. No surrender. No.
Well, we busted out of class. How to get away from those fools. We learned more from a 3-minute record, baby, than we ever learned in school.
Oh my God. First of all, I have raging Jersey hair tonight, and now I'm singing Bruce Springsteen. Okay? Like.
By the by, I think I talked about this in one of the videos a couple weeks ago. How there was this lottery system, and I got Hamilton tickets through the lottery system, and they used the same system for Bruce on Broadway. I struck out, like, I don't think I know anybody that got tickets to that. Like, seriously.
Okay, I that was like a headline. Like, what is Bruce on Broadway?
It's Bruce on Broadway. It's Bruce acoustic show on Broadway for like 3 or 4 months. 5 shows a week. And I know no one that's
Where does he live now? He sold his house. Like,
it's not Rumson anymore?
Maybe it's Rumson. He used to be in Colts Neck, and I don't know.
Okay, we interrupt my Outlander Purgatory to bring you my Springsteen Purgatory, but we'll go back to Outlander now.
I'll tell you what my Springsteen Purgatory is. It's that everybody I know has seen Bruce on my own damn street except for me. Everybody. What? Yeah, we chased a guy up the street on a motorcycle once because Bruce rides one of those. Here's the little insider Jersey dirt from the Jersey Shore, you guys, if you like Bruce. Bruce rides one of those bikes that has the big, huge, like, I can't even do it.
Like the Mask.
I don't want
like the
I don't
Mask
wanna,
guys.
Yes.
Like choppers.
Yes, he drives.
It's not a motorcycle, baby. It's a chopper.
Yes, he rides the chopper. And you know, anyway, whatever. Everybody, Bruce is in my town, is in my area here and there, and his kids surf and whatever.
Okay. Anyway, the episode is called Surrender. It is written by Anne Kenny, and it is directed by Jennifer Getzinger, who I believe has never directed Outlander. So we're getting a lot of new directors this year.
Like it.
Anyway, I heard. Oh, okay. Carol said she took notes too. So.
I did.
Of course.
I have my notes here and ready to go.
Okay. So our Easter egg this evening is a pretty good one. It is a redcoat hanging up a broadsheet, as they were wont to call them back then, of the mysterious Dunbonnet. And he is a wanted man. So if you know of his whereabouts,
Yeah, as far as I know, he's really wanted.
We sound like men on film. Men on football. The formation.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Jamie Fraser is a very wanted man.
Okay. So it is 1952. 1952? Wait, 1752.
What?
Sorry, I'm looking at this like, wait, I know it started on that. Like, just keeping all the sides straight. But no, it's 1752. I wrote it down wrong. So the rebellion was 6 years ago. And we come upon wee Jamie and Fergus, and young Robbie MacNab. And they're looking for firearms. Because they think they know what one is. And they find it. And how great is it to see Fergus again?
Oh, he's so cute.
That
kid is so cute. He's so interesting looking.
What is his name? Wait, I wrote it down. I forgot.
Oh my God.
Roman Berrux.
He's adorbs.
He's just real. I mean, like, seriously, when he gets to be older, good Lord, he's going to break a lot of hearts. Okay. It's very fun. I thought it was funny in that little scene how they were so mean to wee Jamie.
I know. He was so cute. He was so cute.
Such the he's the littlest one that runs around with all the big kids and wants to be like the big kids, and they're all mean to him. And...
He was reminding me of a movie, and I couldn't for the life of me remember what it was from years ago. Whether it was the movie, it might have been the movie about the Loch Ness monster. That kid.
He reminds me of you, actually, when you... Because Carol was, like, somewhat younger than, like, all the rest of the kids, like, in the neighborhood.
Yes, I want.
And she would, like, run around and want to play with us, and we'd be like, go away.
Yeah, they were like, no, get out. Jill would just not say anything. Third sister Jill would just sit there and make Tracey do her dirty work. And Tracey didn't care at all. She'd be like, go. No one wants to play with you. I still have nightmares, you guys.
Okay. So anyway, so the Redcoats arrive for their quarterly taking of Ian and putting him into prison for a couple of days until they get tired of him and ship him back over.
and I love how Jenny is like, ever since Corporal Anderson.
Oh yeah, she rattles
like,
out the whole list.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
They were just so great. They were so like, hey, sup? You're back again? Okay, well, yeah, you're a new one now because this was the new, head of the area or whatever they call it.
Right. Are you the sheriff of Area 5?
So they're like, we, have reason to believe that the Dunbonnet is here. And they're like, what? What's she talking about, Willis?
Yeah, and they arrest Ian, and it's like, she might as well have yelled, be home for dinner. Like, they could not. They were like, oh, they're arresting him again. Here we are.
They were just so blasé about it. It's like, should I pack you a lunch? What time do you think you'll be home next week?
Take your sweatshirt. Might be cold in jail.
Oh my god. So they cart Ian off, and Fergus just is not happy about that Scottish guy. That's I call him Douchey McDouche.
You traitor! Oh no, I'm doing the Scottish accent for Fergus.
No. The Scottish guy, I guess that's true. I guess there were Scots who fought on the side of the Brits, and
I believe that my town was set afire in I think it was 1778. Tracey, it's right around your birthday, and my town, there was a salt works, and they set it on fire. And once I did some research, I found out it was the Fraser's Highlanders who actually were in charge of burning it down.
Yikes.
Yes, there were many, many Scots who joined the English army because they left their families alone. If they did, they had no choice. It was like, well, I can either burn along with my whole family and all my crops, or I can join up and they'll leave my family alone.
Wow. Yikes.
Yes.
So anyway, we get the sense that Fergus is not a big fan of the British soldiers.
Fergus
Nor are
doesn't
they
like
of
himself, the soldiers.
him.
No.
Because there's a lot of this.
They think he's a little snot-nosed froggy.
Where did that name come from?
What name?
The frog name. The insult.
I don't know. That's what people say about the French, but I don't know why. It's funny. All right, you guys.
Okay.
Tracy and I will Google this, so you don't even have to tell us.
Okay.
We'll have
We'll figure it out.
15 people being like, "This is why they called them the frogs."
Okay. And so then we're in the woods and we see the Dunbonnet.
There he is.
There he is. Okay, now let's break this look down. So, as lots of us have tried to forget, but I'm going to have to remind you because we're going to have to do a comparison. Last season, season 2, there was also a moment where Jamie was away for a long time. He was not in a cave. Instead, he was wasting away in the Bastille. And when he came home...
I'm looking for something to... I can't. I have nothing read. He looked like this.
When he came home unshaven, it was as though somebody, in the crew was like, "Oh shit, we forgot the beard. Here, you over there with the man bun, cut it off."
It didn't look like his bun.
Sam, who's got the spirit gum? Okay, get out there, go.
As my friend Linda used to say, Lee press on hair. Listen, but you and I both know it didn't look like it came from their
No. And when I said man bun, I meant,
Oh. Downtown.
So anyway, so I have to say that scene must have been discussed in, your lessons learned meeting for season 2 and planning of season 3 and planning the budget. Clearly, the hair and makeup people got a big bump in the budget.
Oh, yeah.
Because this look was
better.
really good.
It was better. It didn't look like anyone's rump on quarter.
Yes.
It looked like actual facial hair.
Yes, it looked like actual facial hair.
Very prevalent.
The weave was very good. Now, do you think there was a weave, or was that a full-on wig?
I don't know.
Whatever it was, it looked really good. He looked like he had been, out there for 5 or 6 years. He looked very scruffy.
Out in the wilderness.
Out in the wilderness. And you see him out
catching
there.
Big Eric for all of you Monarch of the Glen fans.
I still haven't watched that, so I have to. So he spots a deer, and he's very Katniss, where he gets his arrow out, and he's like, boom. He volunteers as tribute.
I wanted to see him jump on the deer like a Cullen. Cue the music. and then the Dunbonnet goes running and
full
on Matrix jump. What?
He's not a vampire. He's a man.
I said he full on jumps on it like a la the Matrix. Like Keanu.
Yeah. Man v deer. No, those horns. No. He was smart with the arrow because I wouldn't want to get anywhere near those horns. Okay, so he brings home the deer to Jenny. I loved that whole scene. Can I interject something here? You can either watch this recap or you can read 40 pages of Voyager, because honestly, this episode was pretty much 40 pages from Voyager, on screen. This episode has to be in the top 5 of any episode so far in terms of being faithful to the book.
I'm actually almost scared because they're being so good that I kind of wonder, okay, what are they going to do that is so far out of left field that they're trying to make up for it by being really good right now? You know what I mean? I keep waiting for the bomb to drop.
I don't know. So I love that whole sequence with bringing the deer back, and interacting with Jenny, and he's really, he's so wounded, his soul is just so broken. He's so broken.
He's miserable.
Right, and Sam spot on with that, spot on.
Yeah.
What?
I felt here we go, where Carol's not happy. I felt a little bit he was just always miserable. I was come on, weren't there some times in the book that were kind of lighthearted? You know what I mean? When he was the Dunbonnet, but he was just miserable.
Well, I mean, live in a cave for 5 years and you're not going to be thrilled.
But I'm
pretty miserable when my house is a mess for 3 days, let alone. True.
But what I'm saying is the book, I just don't remember it being so all doom, all gloom, all the time.
Oh,
you know
I
what
do.
I mean? I remember him being sad, and I remember it being hard. He lived in a cave, and I remember all of that, obviously. I don't know. I just felt like the entire episode was just, I hate the world. All right, keep going.
I mean,
you know what it is? You know what it is? I don't remember. It's been a while.
I haven't read the book. I haven't read the book in a while too. I didn't really read it before the season. I've read it 3 or 4 times, maybe.
It's just me forgetting. That's all.
And if anything, I would say that he was not in the cave as much as I mean, he was barely in the cave.
Yeah.
He was in the house all the time.
He was in the house.
Jenny would be like, "Oh, Jamie, could you like,
Could you go do the
balance
book?
the ledgers for me?
Yeah.
Oh, Jamie, could you go, dig a hole, go to the grave, get a shovel, go to the graveyard and dig a hole and bury so that the kid will look buried." And I was like, "Jamie, could you go to the market and
Jamie, could you stir the sauce?
It's like, does he ever go home? Does he ever go to the cave? He had more whiskey in this episode than he's probably had in 3 other episodes combined.
Oh,
that, like, if anything, I felt like, his life was pretty damn normal. But I did I remember, one thing I remember from the book is that they say there's always a transition between when he does go to Lollybrock, which he does once a month maybe. There's a period of a couple hours where he doesn't talk and people know not to talk to him because he just has to sort of get back into this whole living amongst people feeling.
Right. Stockholm syndrome.
Right. Well, that's a little more like I'm friends with my captor.
Yeah.
But, whatever. I see where you're getting from. I see where you're getting at. Okay. So, anywho, we then go to 1948 to Boston, and Claire is getting busy,
And it's wicked cool.
She's getting busy with a memory of Jamie and his naked butt.
My
And
God.
I would say that there was no sadness there, Carol.
Oh, heck no. But I kept waiting for Frank to be like, hello, I'm trying to sleep over here. Were you like...
Yeah, Frank's a pretty heavy sleeper, I guess.
Holy cow, keep it down.
But Sam, looking good. That was worth every minute of the 3 hours it took to put your back on you, Sam. Let me just tell you, Slanchivati, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Is the back like a prosthetic back? Like, what's the deal there?
Yeah, no, they apply it onto him.
Oh,
And
is it me or it really looks like? It almost looks like a new back.
What, like a new scarred back? Well, they probably have to
Just
do a new one every season, don't you think?
It's so detailed. It's really creepy.
I mean, by the end of the season, it must be pretty gross. All sweaty and stuff.
Ew.
We're kind of falling apart.
Could you go and wash my face back? It's really sweaty.
Could you try not to sweat, Sam? Because we want to try to get one more episode out of this back.
I wonder if it's like those rubberized things you put in your bra.
The chicken cutlets.
I was gonna say Tom used to call them chicken cutlets. The chicken cutlets, and they get really disgusting if you go out dancing, and you're like, ew.
I never had to wear those because the girls are, sufficient.
Quit bragging.
So Claire, has a good old time in her memory, and Frank just snores away.
Wouldn't you?
So,
Holy cow.
Next morning we see Baby Bree, and she is just like a little slice of cuteness right
Pudgy
there.
cutie.
Little pudgy cutie. But now, and I'm not a mom, but I am an aunt of many children. And when Claire put that baby down on her tummy in the playpen, I was like, oh, should be putting her, she's too young for tummy time.
That was back then.
Well, yeah, I know. But still,
they didn't do back to sleep back then.
I know.
And now my kids are older now. Am I hearing, you guys, that's now they're not doing it as much, or
so
I guess
you do let Ian and Keelan go on their tummies, sleep on their tummies.
You have to do tummy time.
Yes, you do tummy time, but do you do it in the crib? For some reason, I'm thinking tummy time, you have to have room for tummy time.
Well, so it doesn't really matter.
It's not going to really move, but I don't know. I just had this visceral reaction of don't put Brie on her tummy. She's too little. But then it became clear why you had to put Brie on her tummy, so that she could flip over. at the age of like, 6 weeks or whatever. She's flipping right over.
Okay, wait. Why the living room? Did somebody read My Outlander Purgatory from like 2009 and go, "Oh, the fans didn't like that it was in the nursery"? Do you remember how much I picked that it happened in the nursery? And La Leche cocktail happened in the nursery too.
Oh. Well,
Yes, and I was like, "Oh, and in the nursery, it's like hallowed ground."
Well, I mean,
and in the show, I was, you know what it is, and I'm not complaining. It's just it's interesting to me. We always say you look at it from the mind of an actor. I look at it from the mind of a writer, and I'm going, okay, why did we need to change the location from the nursery? And I don't care, again, not complaining at all, to the living room. And then Frank came down in his towel, like the power went out or something, or the hot water went out.
Yes.
And Frank was in the towel and he had to come through and they had their little moment. But I was like, now why did we change?
I have a response.
Tracey.
Because if it was in the nursery, that's another set they would have to build.
Oh.
And that's a couple $100,000 right there.
All right. Good point.
Thank you, Miss Carol.
So we never did see the nursery.
No.
Okay, then that's why. Because they were probably like, we're not going to have a nursery for one stupid scene.
Right.
That's not even going to happen in the nursery. They changed it around.
Well, that didn't really even happen, period.
But didn't you expect him to just drop trow right there? I mean,
not with the baby there.
That's
I guess the baby was there.
Don't you remember me freaking out in the nursery?
All right. We don't do spoilers, even though whatever. Okay. So, all right. The only thing I had written here. The only thing I had written here that I thought was kind of cool was when she picked up the paper and she starts reading about Ireland being all independent, and Katrina is Irish. She's from Ireland, so I thought that was kind of a little inside baseball Easter egg for people who are so inclined to know that.
And was she reading that in the Globe?
It was in the Globe.
That is a paper that Frank should have told her already that she should not be reading.
I know. Hashtag fake news.
I'm gonna hurt myself. All right,
that
continue.
Fake news, Claire.
We are not going there.
Okay. So then Bree turns over, and they all are like, "Oh my God, look, she turned over. She's so smart. She's so smart. She's ready for college now. Oh, Bree, she's so smart. She's so great. She's so pretty.
She's never going to make videos where she sounds whiny and stupid."
Now, let's ponder another thing. So,
yes.
So Claire pulls her out, and she's like, "Look, she rolled over on her back. She's so smart." And Frank is all like, "Oh, my small little
beautiful daughter."
And he picks her up, and he's like, "Oh, aren't you the blah, blah, blah." Did that melt your cold heart just a little more for Frank?
No, get off of that baby.
Get off the babysitter, Joel.
Joel, get off of it.
The house is surrounded.
Honestly, keep going, because I'm going to tell you what I thought. But for right now, at that moment, it wasn't. Look, I don't hate Frank. This is a fun game we play. Here we go again with the shtick. It's the shtick that Carol now hates Frank. I will never not appreciate Frank for.
I thought it was very charming. And clearly Claire did too, because she's like, "Oh, Frank, he's so charming, and he's such a good dad, and
she was like,
look at his gleaming skin right out of the shower."
Yeah, I actually want to sell some Frank. That's what Claire was thinking at that moment.
Yes, that's exactly it. She's like, I've
seen Frank in a towel in a while.
But anyway, so, you know, there's a little...
Frank never wears a towel in England.
there's a little moment between them, and then off he goes. And she's like, okay.
I actually... Well, all right, keep going.
All right. Well, we're back in the past. Back in the past. Whoop! Back in the past. So the Dunbonnet is skulking around, and he's in the cave. So let's break down the cave. I have to say, great mood lighting in that cave. You know, the candles placed just so.
You never know who might come across.
I know. You never know who might drop by. And clearly, like, pretty much the whole town does. Maybe Mary MacNab can come and clean it once a week.
Oh my God. It's like the whole town's in somebody's window going. The whole town, all 5 of them.
Oh my God. And here's the thing, like, this whole episode, and again, it's probably the book too, because this is all so much from the book, but they're all, like, mad at Jamie because, you know, he won't, like, Fergus is mad because he won't teach him to fight. Jenny's mad because he hasn't lain with a woman in forever. And I want Jamie to be like, hello? Do you not, what part of the, like, I've lived in a cave for 5 years and I smell like F, do you not understand?
But why does he smell like F? Because he's always at the house. I'm sure she's doing his laundry.
That's true. You know what? I bet you're right. I bet you Mary MacNab does his laundry at least once a week. So he does not smell, but he still is like, I'm living in a cave. In a cave! What part of that do you not get? Yeah, so, like...
Do you think that Mary MacNab is
I can't really talk about Mary MacNab yet. We gotta get there.
I was gonna say that she's smelling his freshly washed knickers like hair.
No, Mary MacNab is not crazy. Like leg hair is crazy.
She's doing his laundry.
Mary MacNab is just put upon.
I like Mary MacNab.
I like Mary MacNab too.
She's a big, huge help to Jenny. I think I like Mary MacNab a lot.
She's working out very well in the household.
Right.
So anyway, Fergus goes to see Jamie. Fergus is like, I want to learn to fight. Jamie's like, again, how many times do I have to tell you I live in a fucking, I'm sorry, in an effing cave.
Say it. Sing it, sister.
I live in a cave. I'm not going to teach you to fight. Put the gun away, bro.
I know. And Fergus is like disgusted.
Yeah.
Fergus is like,
whatever happened to the Jamie, you know, to Sir?
Fergus is like, I have bigger than you.
And Jamie's like, again, cave. Correct. Yeah, and I drove her in town. For a hidden guy, Jamie is over at the house a lot. Okay.
He's here again.
So he comes back again. I don't even remember why he's back this time. He's ready to do the ledgers now. He couldn't do it when he was there before. So he's coming back to do the ledgers. And he's told that, like...
Because he has so many places to be.
I know. I'm sorry, Jenny. I can't do the ledgers right now. I gotta be somewhere. I gotta be in a place.
Does he have to go tidy up the cave?
I gotta be home to the cave because, you know, I'm expecting an important deer to pass by. Okay. So Mary MacNab is like, no. Oh, yeah. Well, he finds out Jenny's in labor. Okay, fine, whatever. The boys see a raven, and they're all like, ooh, ravens are death. They're evil. We gotta shoot
get the gun.
Get the gun. Good excuse for the gun.
Yeah. Oh, we need that gun right now.
So they get the gun, and I thought Fergus didn't know how to shoot. Fergus thought, like, Jamie, sir, teach me to shoot. Well, he seems to do pretty good,
He killed a dirty redcoat.
He did kill a dirty redcoat. But didn't he do that with a knife? I forget. Or with a gun?
Yes. And Rabbi MacNab mentions that he did it with a knife, too.
Yeah, because that's, like, more manly.
But Rabbi's still pretty impressed with Fergus.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you know, Robbie is like, dude, teach me everything you know, bro.
Yeah, yeah. When no one's looking. Your uncle never know because he's never around. He's always either in the house or tidying up his cave, or out in the woods killing Big Eric.
Okay. So they shoot the gun. You know, Jamie hears, he gets all mad. Then Mary MacNab comes along, and she's like, she sees what's going on, and she's like, "Oh, sir, you have a wee nephew. Maybe you'd like to go see him." Like, I was just like, you do see what's going on, but she did. She was just like trying to get him out. She knows what happens when the Dunbonnet gets really mad.
Tracy,
You don't want to go there.
Mary is a smart cookie.
Mary is a smart cookie. Because then, once she had him, like, safely, like, back at the house, she was like, you know, Robbie MacNab, you bloody, you know, wee mongrel, like, dumb ass.
Right.
So, but she is. I like Mary MacNab. Mary MacNab is very
really
pragmatic.
Like
she's very, you know, she can bring home the bacon and fry it up in a pan, you know?
And kill the pig and clean up after they're done eating.
Yep.
All of the above.
Okay. So, Jamie goes to see the little wee one, and he's holding the baby, and he's looking at the baby, and you're just like, I need my little letter opener sword.
My God. But what did you think of the baby?
Okay. Should we have a baby off? Bree v. Wee Ian?
Well, I noticed something about Wee Ian.
What?
Didn't you think he was like looked kind of
Homely?
not sickly, but very like he was the sweetest little baby. I don't know. I can't explain it.
He was cute. I didn't notice anything. I mean, I know that
when they showed his little wee face and his eyes. Oh my God!
you couldn't really see much other than his little wee face and his eyes because he was all bundled up. He was all swaddled.
Well, this is I'm actually looking at it right now, and his little eyes almost look like they were barely open. You know what I mean? He just
that's
seemed
maybe
like,
because he was about 45 minutes old.
my God. All right, whatever. I just thought they were trying to. You remember, like,
give him a break. He's not, and the other reason is he's not Brie.
Brie's perfect. Do you think they wanted Brie to look more like Frank? Sometimes I look at like Brie and I'm like, she looks more like she could be Frank's kid. You know, she's got those brown eyes.
Yeah.
I was wondering if that was on purpose.
I don't know. That's a good question. Well, Claire has brown eyes, doesn't she?
In the book, not in the show. In the show, she's got bright blue eyes. What, are you kidding me, Katrina?
I'm very bad with noticing people's eyes. That probably says something about me, that I'm soulless
I was going
or
to
something.
say, like, eyes is pretty much the first thing I notice.
No, I'm just bad at it for whatever reason. Okay, so Jamie's holding the baby, he's thinking about his own baby, and then Jenny's that's where she gets to the part where she's like, you know, when was the last time you laid with a woman, Jamie? And he's like, well, let me think about it. So, okay, let me trace the trail. So, okay, I sent Claire back through the stones. Then I, ran onto the fields at Culloden, killed a million guys, got in a big fight with Blackjack. No, that doesn't count as laying with a woman. No. Even though, there was, some sort of homoerotic thing going there. Then I killed a couple more 1,000 guys. Then, actually, maybe that's when he kind of, fell. Then Rupert found me and dragged me to some, random house. Then I almost got shot, but, the Lord of Melton or whatever his name is, shipped me off here. Then you nursed me back to health. Then you stuck me in a cave. 5 years went by, and now it's now. So, this whole laying with a woman thing, Jenny?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I'm far too busy decorating my cave and making sure I have mood lighting. And, you know, coming back here every second.
Next week I might get a disco ball.
But here's the worst part. I literally wrote down, like, then Jenny asked the dumbest question in the history of questions. How long has it been since you laid with a woman, Jamie? Really? Because there's so many in the cave. But then I looked at the book, and she asked it in the book, too. Ooh. That is right out of the mouth of Diana Gabaldon.
That didn't bother me. Did that bother you?
It bothered me that she would ask it because it's just a stupid question. Like, where is he going to lay with all these women?
I don't.
When
I
is
think
that
it's
going
a.
to happen?
I think it's a rhetorical question.
No, I think it's a literal question. When was the
Well,
last
who
time?
do you think? Who do you think she thinks he's hanging out with in the cave?
I don't know, but why? Then why is she asking the question?
Because she's not looking for an answer. She's being passive aggressive and trying to tell him, "You need to get yourself."
Well, it would have worked better if she just, like, said it directly. And Jenny is no passive aggressive gal. She's direct.
Well,
She's
maybe
direct.
she's not quite as direct when it comes to Jamie right now because my man's living in a cave and she feels bad for him. So she's trying to tread lightly.
I guess. I think it was a dumb question on Jenny's part. And you know I don't usually say that because I love her. I have such a
I don't think it was a question. I think it was a comment. being in the form put forth.
Oh, it was a Jeopardy question.
It was
It was in the form of a question.
She was trying to point something out without being obnoxious. So she asked instead of saying, "You need to get."
You can say laid here. I try not to say the F word, but
I don't like
I
to
will say laid.
hear. I don't like to hear.
What? You don't like to hear it in your ears?
HERE. I have children. I'm not going to be spewing all of this stuff.
Oh, aren't they in bed yet?
One's going.
It's awfully late. God, you're such a great mom, Carol. Our mom never used to let us stay up this late.
I don't. I'm doing this right now. So when I'm doing this, everything else goes to. And there's major taking advantage. So that's why when you say, like, what's happening, this, yeah. And I do this.
Okay. All right. So moving on.
Moving
Okay.
right
So yeah.
along.
So anyway, so the British show up once again, looking for the weapon, and they're
They
gonna
run
search
this
the house.
way.
And they go that way.
And they run
this
this
way. And they go that way. So the captain sends Douchey McScott out to look for the body.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. I skipped a whole lot. All right, so they search.
You skipped the baby.
I did.
Him in the hallway with the
all
baby.
So it was never clear to me. I had some really, well, again, in the book, this happens exactly the same way as it does. Or it's pretty much the same. But for some reason, I kept thinking Jamie hid in an armoire.
Tracy?
Yeah.
That's because Jamie hid in an armoire.
Oh!
And it was almost comical. It was borderline. It wasn't funny, but it was like this comedy of
Yes, it was like
errors.
it was like so one of those things. You know how like sometimes when you're so scared and you're so nervous that you laugh, and that's what it was like.
It was borderline Jack Tripper. It was funny. I felt like this way the scene was written was meant to be kind of somewhat comical and at the same time, oh, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
and that's my point about every single thing with Jamie in the show. And again, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that I remember there being a slight bit of kind of
Levity.
dark humor to that scene in particular.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not there. It was just Jamie like this.
The thing was, wherever, I got the sense he was just kind of like behind a door somewhere. So, they're pulling shit out of drawers and they're like doing.
Worse. I was like, is he just hiding in the hallway? Like, dude, you just want to find a better hiding space.
He's hiding in the shadows. That's where he's hiding.
It wasn't even a shadow.
He's so used to being hid that he like just thinks he is all the time.
He's like
and he's doing that
behind
thing
the
from
door like this.
the guy from Soap, and he thinks he's invisible. He's just got like that.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Ian. I'm invisible now. Anyway, all right. So, yeah, no, he was literally hiding behind a door in some room
In the hallway.
in the hallway, and like, if they're searching the house, I mean, I guess maybe they would have searched harder if they hadn't gotten the gun eventually.
Maybe he was trying to hide it inside. All right, let's keep going.
But anyway, I did notice one thing on my second watching, which was that Jenny was totally packing. Did you see that? When they like undo her sheet, and she's all like, "Hey!" And part of it is just because she's just giving birth, but part of it is because she has a big old skin do in her like stocking. Did you see that?
Sister girl's ready. She's ready at all times.
Got a gun. I mean, Jenny.
Jenny's got a gun.
She's not packing a gun. She's packing a knife or skin do.
She's not messing around.
No. No. Jenny, you don't want to be in a dark alley with Jenny. That's for sure.
Right.
Okay, so Mary MacNab, once again, with her cool head and her pragmatic nature, figures out a way to get them out of the house. She's like, it's my gun. I'm so sorry. I saw a raven. I was really scared of it. I shot it. I'm really stupid. Like, I'm sorry. I'm just a dumb woman. And they're like, ugh. All right, fine, bye. So they leave.
I love that. I love that.
I know.
I love that she used her. I love when they do that in general in film and on TV, where and in books, like she used the stereotype against them.
Yep. She used this like
she used it as such power.
Yep.
That is, to me, the antithesis of being hit over the head last week with douchey professor, I'm so much better than you because I have male parts downtown. And, just, all right, we get it. That was my point. We don't need to get back into that again. Everyone felt differently, and I love you guys for expressing how you felt. Very cool. But with this, she had all the power in that scene.
Yep.
And no one was pointing it out, and no one was saying, she's a woman. She just quietly used her power and didn't need to call attention to herself.
Right. Well,
that is my favorite way of I am woman, hear me roar. I loved it.
She used what you just said, that she used the stereotype, what they were thinking. She played right into what they were thinking, or they played into
what. Yeah.
No, it was Mary MacNab. She is a smart cookie,
To me, she's just as strong as Jenny. She's just smart, and she plays it differently. She's not outward like Jenny, but man, she had them in the palm of her hand.
I think TV show Mary MacNab did a good service to book Mary MacNab.
I think
people are going to like. Not like people hate book Mary MacNab, but clearly there's a reason, as we will see in a minute.
Well, let's keep talking,
Okay.
and then I want to go back to this. So bring it up again.
Okay.
But we might want to hurry it up, or else it's going to be 3 a.m.
Okay. But yeah, like what we were talking about before, Jenny's like, Jamie, go take a shovel and, dig a grave in the cemetery. It's like,
and stir the sauce while on your way out.
Would you like me to go to town and, buy a dozen eggs or something? I'm like, hello, is he not a wanted man? Like,
and feed the dogs and sweep up the
don't
porch.
you have like 17 other children that can like do that job? Oh, and speaking of 17 other children, doesn't Jenny have 17 other children? Like, where are they? I couldn't figure that out, because at one point she's like, when she says Ian's name, she's like, I figured one of them might as well have the man who hired him, whatever. But then Jamie's like, well, let's go meet your brother. And I'm like, doesn't he have like 4 brothers and 2 sisters by now?
Where's the oldest one?
Jamie is the oldest one. But there's at least 2 other girls by now.
Little Jamie is the oldest?
Yeah.
See, this is where, you guys, I read it so long ago that I just,
Yes.
it's all.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so we're back to Frank and Claire in bed, and the look on Claire's face was just so hilarious.
Oh my God.
And Claire's
my
like looking
God.
at Frank. He's all asleep. She's looking at Frank like,
And she's like
all right,
this.
stiff upper lip.
She's like,
Stiff upper lip, Beecham. Let's get this over with.
and this is where I really give Tobias Menzies a lot of credit, because he's acting. He's an actor. He's used to being different roles. But like, nothing like being smacked in the face with like Jamie Fraser.
I know.
And you're just Frank.
I know.
I'm very impressed with the fact that he's willing to just play Mr. Nobody.
I know. No, I mean, he's great. I mean, he's everybody, all the performances. I mean, there's not a weak performance in this whole, no, I mean, the performances are great. We're not even like need to talk about those because they're really, really great.
Right.
Right. Sam, I think Sam hasn't gotten the chance necessarily a lot to show like levels of like.
Keep talking. Keep talking.
Okay. You know, I mean, he sort of has, but like the Dunbonnet stuff was like he was going to like a whole other place, in my opinion. He really sold me on this, like, I'm a broken man. I'm not coming back from this. I can never come back from this. Okay. Oh. But Carol's back from this.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Okay. So Claire and Frank get busy.
I'm not even reading my notes. I have all these notes.
Well, is there anything you want to add?
No, I will if I do.
Okay. So they get busy, and her eyes are closed, and Frank's eyes are open, and he's kind of noticing. Frank's like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But they seem to, fade to black or whatever. So, okay.
So you're like, all right, everybody got a little something.
So.
A little something they were looking for.
Yeah. So back at Lollybrock, Ian is back. He's like, boys, been fun. What? See you next quarter?
Yeah. If you could turn the heat on before I get there next time, that would be appreciated.
It's all good.
Yeah.
So he's back, and Fergus and Douchey McDouche again lock eyes, and they're just like,
right.
You know that's coming to a head. So Fergus goes off into the woods, and Douchey McDouche and his partner, other douche, follow him.
Right. And
Fergus knows exactly what's going on. He's leading them on a wild goose chase, and they're following him. And then Fergus is just ha!
Fergus,
I knew it.
Fergus, I love Fergus's little. Is that an apron? So cute.
I don't know.
So
he was
cute.
sort of. I was looking at his clothes too. He was sort of trying to emulate the Scott look a little bit and the French boy look a little bit. And...
Yeah. And I wish they would hug and kiss him more. It would make me happy.
What, Fergus?
Yeah, when they took Ian, Jenny had wee Ian, I guess it is.
No,
and it's
wee Jamie.
I mean wee Jamie.
I was all hugging her.
Last week's video, I was calling Jamie Jenny or Jenny Jamie, and I thought, oh, hug Fergus too. He needs hugging.
Fergus doesn't want to be hugged. He's a man. Wee Jamie's sweet. He's just a little boy. He's just a scared little mama's boy. But Fergus is a man. He's killed a man, Carol. He's been depressed in pans. And he could have fought a Culloden.
Oh my God, you're going to make me... He's been depressed in pans.
And he's ready to fight, and he's really mad at Milord because, he's turned into a big wimpy wimp that lives in the cave.
Who has smaller cojones than him.
So
Fergus was thinking that. Jeez.
So Fergus runs into a spot of trouble.
Wait. You can't just gloss over. Fergus like led them in there. Like Fergus is. Did I miss that? Did you just say that Fergus like led them into the woods?
Yeah. Like he was like leading them on a wild goose chase, and then I love how he keeps going like this. Isn't that an Italian thing? I didn't realize that was a French thing.
I guess not. The Italians may have stolen it from the French.
Maybe it's European. Maybe
I think it's probably French, but somewhere along the line, New Yorkers thought that it was Italian.
But he keeps doing that, but more of them show up, and it's just not good. Book readers knew this was going to go down.
Right. Aren't you like just waiting? Like, oh, it's coming.
It was very graphic. Like
yeah.
What do you think about the graphicness of it?
The hand might as well have gotten up and crawled away.
Well, I thought that like the stump was, I mean, like,
And later when he's in the bed convalescing, he seems absolutely fine. I'm like, don't you love kids?
Well, he's pretty much drunk.
He's like, hey, what's up?
I have to say, like, we really need to see. You know what? That's a couple $10,000 in special effects that they could have like put elsewhere, in my opinion. Didn't need to see it. Didn't need to see the like, you know.
They could have put it into the nursery for La Leche cocktail.
It was like, oh no, I've got the dickens out of my hand.
and Jamie's whole Woodstock look with the hat and the hair and the man, the thumb's still moving. Like, the thumb is still moving.
So Jamie like and this was great. Like Jamie, the look on Jamie's face because he sees what's gonna go down and he can't do anything. So he goes. And when he's
that
like,
really is what did it because he's like, I should have done something.
Yeah. But when he's putting the tourniquet on Fergus and he's saying like, I've seen Milady do this a million times. Like loved it. So he brings Fergus back, and then he finally breaks down, and that was just a really great scene. He goes to see Fergus, like I said, is he ever in the cave? Ever. And I loved every second of that. What are you laughing at?
Tom's laughing at me.
Is Tom watching with you?
He's
Tom watching the
standing
show?
behind the computer laughing.
No. Is Tom watching the show with you?
Oh, hell yeah.
And thumbs up or thumbs down, Tom?
Tom, Tracey wants to know overall thumbs up or thumbs down about the show.
We're ahead.
Okay, that's not what she wants to know. She just wants to know thumbs up or thumbs.
So far?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Likes it. Tom likes it.
And I don't like Frank anymore.
Oh.
You can't. Yeah. He does. Yeah.
I understand Claire a lot better.
We're gonna get there, though. We might get there. Yeah, we're gonna get there. He's changed his tune.
Oh boy. All right, we're gonna have future conversations that are gonna be good.
Yes, exactly. I love that. Oh, you guys. He says he understands Claire's position a little better.
Wow. So is it really
Tom, that might have bought Tom some fun time too.
All about Claire. If it's not about Claire, it ain't fair.
Says, what am I doing? She says, if it's not about Claire, it ain't there. I took this out so he could hear you.
All right, put it back in.
Anything else? Okay.
All right. Because we gotta get it moving. Oh, we're only an hour. I thought it was longer. Okay.
It sure seems that way.
I know, right?
You guys, we're just giving you more to spend on the treadmill.
Right.
Because that's what I do.
What else are you going to do all week, you know?
I watch on the treadmill. So I used to fight how long these videos went. And now I'm like, just make them longer. Because it's something to do on the treadmill. Besides watching like the Today Show or Joanna Gaines, who I love, but I've seen most of her episodes like 7 times.
Okay. Yes, I loved that whole scene with Fergus and Jamie. It was adorable. It was like poignant. Where he's like, so now you've made me a man of leisure. Like, I think a lot of that was straight from the book.
That was so sweet. That definitely was. There's a lot of lines that I'm remembering. Word for word.
Oh yeah, word for word from the book. But again, Roman Berrux, slow golf clap. Honestly, I don't. I mean, if this is the last time we see him in the series,
we'll see him in something else soon because he's so
he's
good.
great. He's great, and like I said before, he's gonna break a lot of hearts. A lot of hearts. How old is he? Like 15? I think his voice changed between like season 2 and season 3, quite frankly. But he was really great, and really great. Great performance. Okay, we're back in Boston. Guess who's over for dinner, Carol?
He stirred the sauce. I have the wrong time zone.
No, it's the wrong time slot. It's Millie and Jerry. It's the
Can
neighbors.
I call her Nellie?
It's Millie and Jerry. It's who are the honeymooner couple that live next door? It's Fred and Ethel.
It's Fred and Ethel. I have comments on them.
Okay, so what'd you think?
I loved that little scene for the same reason that I disliked a few things last week. I loved that it showed that these two are a happy couple. I also wrote it down. Claire's actually having fun at dinner because she was like laughing with them and stuff, and I have Nellie and Jerry get along great. Love them. Frank got up to serve them more. I thought that was interesting.
I know.
That Frank's like, would you like seconds? And he gets up and I'm like, isn't this woman's work?
Ooh. By the way, you guys, we know it's Millie, but it's more fun to call her Nellie.
I'm calling her Nellie.
Yeah.
And I loved, he gave me Tom Stark. Jerry gave me, I don't like to say like last names.
Oh.
He can you cut that out?
All right.
Find out what time we're at. I'm going to say it again. He totally gave me Tom because he said, and I quote, "Mind if we kill the bottle?" And I was like, that sounds like Tom and me at dinner. We're a lot of fun when you invite us to dinner. So I was like, wow, this is fair. I just like the fact that as much as that is a housewife. That's like maybe not a stereotypical, but last week when she was all, oh, Jerry, blah, blah, blah. But then they get together and they're at dinner and like they kiss across the table and they're like having the wine and he's like, oh, maybe she can make this and whatever. I don't know. I liked that scene. I thought that scene was realistic about like your everyday average, couple next door. And I thought they were a happy couple.
Right. I mean, I think that Claire and Frank were watching that, particularly Frank, kind of wanting to emulate that, maybe wanting to one-up it. It actually because it was funny because, Jerry and Nellie are all like, oh, blah, 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 and then right. Frank's like, oh, I'll go get more, whatever. And like puts his hand on Claire's shoulder and like goes like, this a little bit.
And Claire's like, get off.
But from Frank's perspective, did you ever see the Friends where, I don't know how much did you watch Friends at all?
For the first few years, yes.
There was an episode where Phoebe was dating the guy, Michael Rappaport. Do you know who that is?
Oh yeah, I love Michael Rappaport.
Okay. So
true romance.
And so their relationship was all like new and whatever. And Monica was all jealous because she had been dating Chandler for a while by this point, and they were like kind of like stale and old. So she kept trying to one up them, like we're a better couple, we're more fun, we're like better. And that's what Frank was reminding me, like when he had to put his hand on Claire's shoulder and like feel it up a little bit because like I'm sorry,
really, we're happy too.
Yeah, we're happy too, Nellie and Jerry.
We have got to beat them.
Yeah,
you're not the only ones that are happy.
Yeah,
we're happier.
Frank was like so jealous that he had to rip on Nellie / Millie when she left and be all like, oh, I'm sure she's into Shakespeare or whatever. Ugh. What did he say? What was the line?
She's like, has her thesis on all of the complete works of William Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Like blah, blah,
yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Naughty.
Oh, shut up, Frank.
I wanted to smack him. Right. To me, it was the most elitist thing I was so pissed off. I was like, this woman has never done anything to you to deserve being spoken about like that.
Right. And guess what, Frank? Guess who's, she might not be, know every Shakespeare play, but guess what? She has a spouse that's really into her. Just saying.
And she loves her spouse and doesn't think about Jamie Fraser when she's hopping on pop. So
yeah.
What was this? Well, I don't.
No, what? Who did that? What?
What's that face? No, it's something with your face. Mom always got mad if you did, or Mom always went, "Dit don't mean nothing but did do."
I have no idea.
Cats are sad.
Okay. Okay. So we're by the fire. We're drinking out of our little, fancy glasses. They start getting it on, and Claire's having her eyes closed. And Frank's like, "What's up with that?" And Claire's like, well, "Geez, if you're not in the mood, just say so." And boom, that's it.
And that did it.
It's a pretty significant scene, I would say. So okay. So we're back to Lollybrock.
Oh, you're just gonna jump to Lollybrock from that?
Do you have anything more to say about that?
Well, didn't they have a whole discussion where wasn't that when he was like,
when I'm with you, I'm only with you, but when you're with me, you're with him.
You're with him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Why won't you look at me?" This
is why
it doesn't
matter. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I am. Wait.
This is why I feel bad for Tobias Menzies, because I know he's acting, but you've got this warrior god, aka Jamie Fraser, and then you've got Frank, and he's like, "Why won't you look at me? When you're with me, you're with him."
Maybe she should have said something along the lines of "See, Frank, if you only knew how hot he really was, let me draw you a picture." And maybe she could get a sketch artist to come and really draw from The Exile, the one where you see his bum in that picture from The Exile, and shows it to Frank, and Frank will be like, "Hey, yeah, I get it.
Don't you think Frank, this is where you all you guys know I always wished that he would just have told them when Bree was I don't know, 12, "Listen, I have a conference in England for 2 weeks, I'll be back." But Frank could go through the stones too, so then Frank shows up back then, so Frank gets to meet Jamie face to face. That was always my dream. Not that I would ever in a gazillion years expect anything like that to happen. That's just my little fantasy.
I think it would be an interesting conversation.
What?
It would be an interesting conversation.
I sure as hell would love to see the two of them side by side. Let's hear what Frank has to say now. Big bad Frank picking on poor Nellie next door, making fun of Nellie and her
educated
academia.
All right, let's move this along.
And another thing.
What? Do you have another thing, or
how do we know she's not? How do we know she's not educated? And even if she isn't, for the time, are you kidding? What year are we in right now?
She ladies' college or whatever it was.
She probably
Radcliffe. Maybe she went to Radcliffe.
The steno pool. She went into the steno pool.
And did she meet Jerry there? He was, that
was Mom.
Jerry in accounting. Yes, I was gonna say that, our mom did.
Our mom was in personnel. That's how she met our dad at work.
Yep. That's what the ladies did back then.
So Frank, you rip on Nellie, you're ripping on Pat Czar. That's all I gotta say.
Whoa. All right, let's move away from this because Frank is just gonna I don't know. Frank is just things are getting worse and worse for Frank, and it's getting really late too. I just looked at the clock.
I know. My God, I have to go to bed.
Oh my God. Okay. So we're back at Lollybrock. Surprise, surprise. Jamie's there.
That's because he just did the dishes.
Jamie's not in the cave. So he's telling Jenny and Ian, I want you to turn me in. They're like, huh? He's like, here's the plan. You're going to turn me in. You get the reward money. Ian's like, oh, no worries. They're not even hanging Jacobites anymore. They're just like throwing them in prison. And I've been to prison. I go there like once a quarter. And it's no biggie. You know,
It's fine.
It's all good. Don't worry. So Jenny's just like, y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy.
Crazy.
So then, see, we do have to talk a little more. So then we're back at finally Jamie makes his way back to the cave. He's like, and it's like when you've been on vacation for a month and you just like, you know, you're just like, ugh, I haven't been here so long. Anyway, Mary MacNab shows up at the cave. And book readers everywhere go.
Did you not want to talk about him and Jenny having their conversation?
Which conversation?
About, like, when did they have their conversation about when the last time he was...
When she's having the baby. We already talked about
I thought
that.
it was then. All right,
No.
keep going. I was wondering why you would jump. I was like, Tracey never wants to talk about stuff until it's there.
No, and she wouldn't have that conversation. Well, she probably would have it in front of Ian, too. But Ian would be like, Jenny!
All right, so here comes Mary MacNab.
Here comes Mary MacNab. We're all like, oh.
And Jamie's like, it's not Thursday.
So the best part is she cuts his hair and shaves him. And all I can tell you is, the stylist department at Outlander needs to hire Mary MacNab. Because she was able to take that mop and cut his exact haircut out of it.
His exact bad haircut.
Like, it was a miracle. Like, I'm telling you, my wee dad stylist at the salon does not do as good a job as Mary MacNab. Is there nothing this woman can't do?
I think she shaved his chest too.
Literally saved lives twice in this episode.
Mary
She
MacNab
cooks,
does it all.
She
Love her.
cleans, she cuts hair, she shaves.
Love her.
You know, she'll throw you an occasional, you know what, if you really are in need.
Off.
Is there nothing this woman can't do? And yet she can't get a husband. I mean, like, what's up with that?
I'll tell you what's up with that. She lives in the middle of nowhere.
She doesn't live in a cave, and clearly Jamie's expected to, get more women, like, swipe right on just about anything that, like, in the county.
And then she's in her shift.
Okay. So he goes to wash up. He comes back. She's in her nightie or whatever it is. And that goes down. Very much like the book, because I did reread that part, and like what she says is pretty much exactly from the book.
And she's awesome. And how come in the book I was like, and watching this, I was like, I love Mary MacNab. How in the world is a visual medium that important? Like, in the book, I didn't hate her. I appreciated what she was doing.
I think she's kind of invisible in the book. Because, like, for example, I don't think she saves the day with, like showing up with the gun in the book. I don't think. I honestly...
No, I don't remember that.
I think that she's, like, sort of... Her character's built up a little more in the show.
Oh, she's
and I think
behind the scenes in the book.
Right.
Way.
Right. The show...
In this, though, she's like... I'm wondering if, what the deal will be going forward.
The show did a really good job of, like, kind of fleshing her character out a little bit and making it clear why Jamie would maybe admire her a little bit.
Right.
And why this isn't just, like, some chick, showing up at the cave, like, ready to go. He has kind of a respect for her already.
I like that he has, like, tears in his eyes. Like,
Yes.
his eyes are, like...
And he closes his eyes, too. And he's just like, it's just something I do. I have to tell you that I didn't like the kissing.
Yeah, I don't think... Did they kiss in the books?
They don't... I read that part again, too. It doesn't say. And, they probably do once they're, like, into it. But I kind of wanted it to be sort of Pretty Woman.
What do you do? Everything, but I don't kiss on the mouth.
You know,
I was just going to say, I'm embarrassed to admit I'm getting it mixed up with Pretty Woman because I was like, did they kiss in the book? I don't think so.
they did. I mean, like I said, once they got into it, I'm sure they did, but that's not on the page. We don't see that happening.
Right.
I didn't like the kissing.
No.
I almost would have liked her. Okay. We reshot the ending last week. Let's reshoot this scene. She does exactly the same. They don't kiss. She does her thing. Dress falls down. She takes his hand. She puts it on her boob.
Yeah, you know what kind of bothers me?
And she takes the lead with that. And then I have not done this in a very long time. Neither have I. Fade to black. I don't like the kissing.
Excuse me. It's not a lot of kissing, though. I mean, it's not even 10 seconds, and they fade to black. But here's the deal, too. I have to kind of laugh that, okay, I get it. He lives in the cave. But he's there all the time.
No, he's
right?
not. He's never there.
I'm saying he's at the house all the time.
Yeah.
Does Mary MacNab really have that spectacular a life either? I kind of feel like, doesn't she need this a little bit, too?
That's what she says. She says it's it's for both of us.
Yeah.
It's a nice moment. I think it's a lot easier to. I think that the TV show, like I said, did a really good job of kind of making her a very positive choice for him.
Right.
But I didn't like the kissing.
So that we didn't hate him. I didn't mind the kissing.
You didn't mind it?
No.
I didn't like it.
I didn't expect it, and while I was watching, I was like, "Ooh, does this bother me?" But it didn't bother me. Hey, he deserves it. You know what I'm always thinking? Are you kidding me? I'm always like, "Ew, he lives in a cave. I bet he tastes like ass." I am so
I don't
sensory
think that's...
driven. I am so sensory driven that all I thought about when I read them, all I think about is the breath and the taste in their mouths and the smell.
Don't forget, he goes home to Lollybrock to brush his teeth every night before he goes back to the cave to go to bed.
Claire taught him to brush his teeth.
That's true.
Let me tell you something, you guys. This is so sad. I have actually thought about that. In fact, I think I did this morning when I'm brushing my teeth. When I'm brushing my teeth sometimes, random, could have been 6 months ago when there was Droughtlander. We were knee deep in Droughtlander. And I will actually be brushing my teeth and I will think, I wonder how often Jamie had to make himself a new brush because Claire taught him to brush his teeth. But what did he use? Did he have a brush? Did he? This is the type of stuff that goes through my head on a daily basis.
I'm sure they were able to. I want to know what the toothpaste was. The brush I think would be easy to make. The toothpaste, what's that going to be?
I don't know that he used toothpaste. I think the point was that she told him that he had.
The exfoliation on the teeth?
He had to get in there with that brush and get out all the...
All right. We're in the home stretch here.
Thank
God. We're back to Boston.
It is 11:10. I'm going to fall asleep right here. Narcolepsy.
I know.
I'm going to be like...
Wait. We're almost there. So we finally have Claire narration. After an episode, almost 2 episodes, Claire narration is back. She heads off to med school. Oh, look, who's the professor? Some other douchey, misogynistic douchebag. Is that have we seen him before? Or are they just they're just this revolving door of misogynistic douchebags now on the show?
I don't know, but I didn't remember this. And again, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I don't remember it from the books. I didn't remember, and I don't
think
want
we ever see her in med school.
Maybe we don't.
I don't think we do.
I didn't remember. I guess maybe they're trying to tell the story of why she and Joe Abernathy were so tight. I don't know. I don't remember her being so. I don't remember the whole, ew, I'm not going to sit next to you. You have a vagina. and like Joe Abernathy comes in and sits down next to her as a seat taken. Well, no, sit down. We're the two minorities in the room.
Right.
Like, did that happen in the
No.
book?
No. I mean, we never saw any of that.
Again,
but that was
guys, I'm not saying it didn't happen in real life. I'm saying I don't remember it from the books.
no that particular scene. I mean, we saw them like as surgeons. Like at that point, I don't think we ever saw them like in med school.
I also don't remember Joe being subpar when he was next to her.
In fact, now that I think about it, I don't think they met as med students, and they met because I know what it was. They were like residents or something, and I don't think this is really a spoiler. This is just like this is how they met. It's not like really plot driven or anything,
right?
That they're in like one of those like if you're like pulling a 48-hour shift, you can go and sleep for a couple hours in this room, and she she was like looking for something to read, and they were talking about like romance novels or something, and that's how they got to. They did not meet at med school in the books, but I do think
they were just equals, they were just
right?
doctors.
They were both surgeons,
right?
But I did write this down because it was just really funny how like the professor was like a douche and like oh yes I have a woman and like a black guy or whatever, and then like so she walks in and sits down and all the other guys are like.
They're like this.
Sneer. And then Joe Abernathy walks in, like the black guy, and they're all like... So it was... I know it was realistic. I'm sure it was like this all the time. That to me was a little over the top, but...
So you felt like I did last week with Frank's boss.
I mean, like, maybe they just, like, thought it inwardly a little more, but they didn't all sit there going, like right. They're smelling something bad. Like,
Thank you. See, this is what I'm saying. A lot of people mistook what I said last week. Not a lot of people, but some people mistook what I said, which I probably said it poorly because I'm not great at expressing myself. Took it as that I was saying that I didn't understand that he would be that way. No, of course he would be that way. It wouldn't be so outward. And I'm sorry, I don't think Claire's a fictional character. I don't necessarily know that Claire, and I'm not being a total ass. What am I trying to say?
I don't know.
I'm not trying to sound like you guys. Claire, I don't think would have been. Claire would have bitten her tongue and grin and bear it. And in this scene, I'm not saying that these guys might have been complete jerks and been thinking that a woman, a black man, they totally might have been like that. But I don't think it would have been so like, and again, maybe I'm wrong. And I'm sure people have stories. I'm not saying nobody was like that. Like you just said, I think it would be more inward. You know what I mean?
Right. It was just, I mean, it was clearly trying to make a statement, and it's fine. It's all good.
And I have to say, I loved it. I loved kind of giving a backstory as to her relationship with Joe, being born out of that, something good coming, sort of like, a flower coming through the crack in the uneven pavement. Like I really felt like this is I like this, that the two of them sort of forged this relationship because the way the world treated them.
All right. We got to move on because there's a little more to go, but it's good
we're
stuff.
We're
almost done. But so then we see they're back in the Claire and Frank bedroom. Claire's like, oh, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay, good night. And Frank's like, good night. She rolls over and goes to sleep. So there's a little bit of a like at you as the viewer, like, oh, that's how it is now. Then you get the overhead shot, and they're in separate beds, and it's like, ooh.
It's like Wilma and Fred.
Or Lucy and Ricky. Or like anybody in the 50s, And I was like, I'm thinking to myself, I don't even know that I buy, like, think about that decision. Think about that decision of like, Claire, maybe we should get separate beds. I don't think Frank Randall is ever going to sleep in a twin bed. I don't think that would ever really happen. I don't think they would ever really get twin beds like that. Like, make the conscious effort to, like, sell their twin size bed and buy two, or sell their full size bed and buy two twin beds. I don't think that would ever happen. I think they just, like, stayed in the same bed and, you know, whatever. That said, just that visual, that image, so powerful. I suspended my disbelief. I was like, fine. Because
I thought it was great.
Really, really, really hit you like a punch in the gut.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Hit you like a punch in the gut.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah. That said everything you needed it to say, and that was a really smart choice. Again, I don't know that, like, realistically, I believe that it really would happen, or did happen. And honestly, did they never have sex again? No, I don't believe that. I think they probably did.
I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah, I think that was it. They were done. in show Outlander.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I mean, you have separate beds for a reason. I think they were done. Like,
Interesting.
what is going to make her want to be with him again? She would have kept being with him, frankly, is what I see. She would have kept being with him
Yep.
and closing her eyes.
Yeah.
And he wasn't going to stand for it. And I don't blame him. So there you go. There you have it.
I
Although,
don't know,
come
being
on,
really
dude,
drunk.
can't you pull something out of your... I was going to use a term that was really obnoxious. I'm not going to use it. But...
I mean, it was a statement. It was a statement, and it was a really powerful statement, I thought. You know, is it a realistic, you know, scenario? Probably not. But it was a statement, and it worked really well for the medium, I think.
It was very the time period when it comes to remember the shows? And
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, back to Lollybrock. Everyone plays their part in the little play that they put on for the soldiers. They put him in the irons.
I've come home.
He was awfully, like, you know, back to his old self. And again, Laura Donnelly. I've such the girl crush on her, I have to say. I really do. She's so good. She's so good. And that whole scene where she's like, I'll never forgive you, ever. She won't. But not for the reasons that the soldiers think.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You know?
Right.
It was so great. And he gets carted off. We go back to Boston. Claire's walking around and she sees a bagpiper. She's like, she gives him a little tip, walks off, fades black.
And there we have episode 2 of season 3.
Surrender. I keep wanting to say no surrender.
But really, what else is Claire going to do?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean? Like, this is her life?
This is the life she agreed to?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Kind of sad that she and Frank aren't, you know.
And again, I don't know that it's anybody's fault. That's what, like, I don't, there's no bad guy there. There really isn't. There really isn't.
So let's leave it alone, 'cause we can't see eye to eye.
There ain't no good time.
There ain't no bad guy. You just said it.
And we just disagree.
You just said there. I don't think there's a bad guy. That's the point. There ain't no good guy. There ain't no bad guy. There's.
So yeah, I mean, like, there's nobody to blame. I think she did keep her part of the bargain.
one. I'm sorry. Now I'm singing Howard Jones.
No one is to blame.
Oh, it's sad. It's sad.
She
It's
kept her
sad.
part. She really tried. and he wasn't willing to
be her consolation prize.
Right. And he wasn't willing to, I mean, he didn't think that she was fulfilling the bargain. She was trying to do it. She's just not able. And
My man never met himself since James Alexander Malcolm Mackenzie Fraser.
That's
Because
right.
if he had, he would say, "Oh, Claire, I totally understand. Keep your eyes closed." It also didn't seem to me to be Frank's personality and character to give a rat's ass if her eyes were closed. But I guess he did. I don't know. He did in the TV show. Like, I would just see Frank being like, whatever, I'm getting a little from this gorgeous woman.
I think, yeah, I think that his expectations were too high. You know, I think that everything's going to be like it used to be.
Right.
That's part of his bargain. If you stay, Claire, and you don't have to, but if you do, this is how I need it to be. And
you need to worship me like you did on our honeymoon when I left you to go study historical books. I mean, do you ever think about that? Do you ever think about episode 1 when they were in the castle? I mean, my God, they had quite a healthy relationship back then.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, oh.
But you know what? Now let me ask you this. Would Frank, knowing what had happened and knowing there was a Jamie in her past,
right?
Would Frank have found fault with anything?
What do you mean?
If it wasn't like her eyes are closed, is it going to be like, oh, she, I can't, like, she does this or she does that or this is wrong or that is wrong? Was he going to just kind of not be able to erase that image or that knowledge that he wasn't Claire's only guy or only focus or only love or whatever?
That he needed to be.
In other words, he noticed that her eyes were closed.
Right.
If he didn't notice that, was he going to notice something else?
I still don't think I understand your question.
Because he's never going to erase the image of Jamie and Claire.
Oh, right.
And conveniently, her eyes are closed. So that's a reminder to him. But even if that wasn't the case, is he going to find some other reminder? Because he can't get it out of his head.
Well, he's reminded every day when he has to see Nellie and how stupid she is.
Well, no. I mean, he's reminded when he picks
Maybe
up...
Nellie would look into your eyes, Frank.
He also is reminded every time he picks up Brianna and sees that red hair. So...
But he doesn't even know. Does he know that Jamie had red hair?
Yeah, he has to know.
Here we are back on the hair again.
I know.
That baby.
I'm gonna call it a night but I think I still feel for Frank. I really do. There's no villain in this scenario.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't not feel for Frank in his terrible situation. He stepped up when he didn't have to.
Yep.
I will always give that to Frank. And Frank honestly is a decent guy. I mean, Frank comes up in other Diana Gabaldon novellas and stuff, kind of prequels. So I don't have a problem with Frank's situation. He's a decent man and he has a good heart and soul.
He's
and
trying to do the right thing.
Yeah, he stepped up for Claire and he loves Claire. He loves Claire. In Frank's not so fantastic way, Frank loves Claire.
Right.
He loves Claire a lot, and that's, he's devastated, I think.
Right.
I just rip on Frank, A, because it's fun. It's become like a thing to do. And B, because I sometimes rip on him because of his attitude, his elitist attitude.
Right.
And
he's a snob.
Yeah, he's a snob. He's a total snob. And then sometimes I get pissed at him and think, you deserve it, pal. But honestly, he doesn't. Like I said, last week, Tom was like, he doesn't deserve this. But then I remind everybody, Claire did nothing wrong. Ever. She did not ask to go through those stones. It happened. She did not ask to end up with Jamie Fraser. They made her. You know what I mean? Like, what else was she going to do? This is what happened to her. And she came back, and Frank took her back, but she can't help it. Like, she's doing the best she can.
Everybody's doing the best they can.
Yeah, exactly. There's no good guy and there's no bad guy. It is what it is.
Right. You know, and I guess Frank maybe, like, I guess you could say maybe he could give her more time. You know? But then that's hard too, because it's like probably like it's like two guys on his shoulder, and one of them's like, "Give her more time, Frank. You know, just like let her get him out of her system." And then this one's like, "Why should you give her more time?" Like,
are you talking about that scene from? Was it like Porky's?
I don't know.
Blanker. Oh my god. So
all
funny.
right, I think we are ready to call it a night.
Stick a fork in us. I'm so done.
I know. Oh my god. I think are we gonna hit a 2-hour one before we're done this season? We might.
I don't know, but my computer's at 11%, and I was at like 98 when we started this.
All right, you guys. Let us know what you think in the comments. You can comment on outlanderpurgatory.com. You can comment on our YouTube page. You can comment on Facebook, on Twitter, on all of the various forms of social media that we are on. And we're dying to know what you think of this episode. We're playing
Tracey,
around with... What?
You have to come on the blog on Mop and have a little jump into the conversation.
You guys, you don't even want to know. I mean, like, you're so tired of hearing me say this. I know. Now work is calm, but like stupid me decided like, oh, why don't I audition for a play? And I got cast in the play. And then I was like, oh wait, I have to recap 13 episodes of Outlander over the next 13 weeks.
Yeah, you're going to have to fill me in on what's happening with that.
So, like, now, all I'm doing is going to work, going to rehearsals, trying to memorize lines, and doing Outlander recaps. So, I'm trying, like, really hard to, like, stay in the loop of all the comments and stuff like that, but it's not easy, because I'm just, oh my god, you guys. I have to be, like, locked, literally, I have to be, like, locked down. I have to be put in a cave so that I don't, like, actually, like, do anything other than Outlander stuff.
I hope you're not inferring that people who do comment have tons of time on their hands and don't have busy lives.
No, I'm not inferring that either. But then the other people just write one comment. We read all of the comments and, like, have to respond to all of them. So that's a big job, too. But
I'm the one who's responded last week to every
you're not in a
single
play, so there's about like 7 hours a week for you that I don't have.
I'm not going to get into what I've been doing with my time.
I know. Yeah, I know. We're both very busy. We're both women of the 21st century, you guys.
I just stay up way too late, or sometimes do things in the middle of the night. I feel very Diana when that happens.
I'm just glad that. Oh my god, it's 11:30.
I know. All right, guys. We'll see you later.
But we're gonna try to do. We also want to do, because we're working on this, like some sort of Facebook Live. Like, it would be great once in a while to do like a midweek show. We used to have chat, and we're probably not going to really go back to chat because of the aforementioned like crazy lives. But like once in a while, it would be fun to do sort of an after, like a comments show. And we could do that on Facebook Live, and then you guys could like give us your comments, and we can answer them live on Facebook.
That'd be fun.
Oh, I almost knocked down my computer. Okay, you guys. So, that's it. It's been real. We will see you. Carol, you disappeared. Oh, there you are. We will see you next week for episode 303. Have a great week, and we'll see you later. Bye.